have the real deal millionaire here to talk to us about how to build wealth in all the right places. And we have a chef in the house as well. So y'all make sure you stay tuned so you can lick the atmosphere with me. Y'all allow me to introduce a man that is full of melanin money. Here he is to teach African Americans how to earn money, keep it, invest it, and prepare themselves for the future. If that's not black excellence, I don't know what is. Y'all, please welcome the real millionaire, Mr. Cedric Nash. Please have a seat. All right then, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me on the show.
So happy to be here.
Indeed. So if you don't mind, we're going to dive in because we need to know all of this wealth of information you have.
Let's make it happen.
You ready? So first I want to talk to you about a book you wrote, Why Should White Guys Have All the Wealth? How did you come up with that title?
Well, I came up with the title because it's, I was on a rant talking to a friend of mine, and I came up with this quote. I said, why should only white people be getting rich in America? Mm-hmm. And so it stuck with me. And then it reminded me of a book that I read some time ago by Cedric Lewis, titled Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun, which really talked about him building $1 billion enterprise. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to use that title because I wanted something provocative. But then I was like, I don't know if I should use that title enough. That's almost like singing the national anthem behind Whitney Houston, right? It's almost like you don't touch something that's been done so
perfectly.
Well. Exactly,
mm-hmm,
so perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
But the title just stuck with me. I talked to a couple of my business colleagues, white colleagues and black colleagues, and it just stuck, and it seemed to make sense. And it's really not about white or about black. It's really about how African Americans can build wealth despite the odds, despite the fact that 84% of wealth in this country is in white hands, only 4% is in black hands. Mm-hmm. So the book is really about solutions for our community.
That's amazing. And you know what? It is provocative, but you need titles that grab people like that. It's amazing. So why is your money mindset so critical in building wealth? Millionaire mindset. Well,
your mindset and your value set around money is really the foundation of it. Mm-hmm. What you do with money is just the process. Mm-hmm. The sad reality is you can't be consistent building wealth if your mindset and your value set around your money is off. An example is your mindset is the preconceived ideas, beliefs, and practices. And often our mindset is shaped by the people that we've been inspired by. Mm-hmm. And sometimes if we're inspired by the wrong person, sometimes drug dealers, sometimes people who are just not that knowledgeable, we ended up going in the wrong direction and never reach our goals. So your mindset is kind of like your compass. And as it's off by 2 or 3 degrees, you never reach your goal. And it's hard to adjust your mindset. You need to be adjusted by millionaire mentors, people that I had the privilege of mentorship from, which kept me in the right direction and poured the right things into my mindset and the way that I look at money.
Good stuff. So you say that your age, race, education, income, and starting point in life are unimportant when it comes to building wealth, and that understanding the value and behavior transformation method of wealth building is the key to financial security.
It really is. As long as a person has the energy and the effort to continue to make money, they can build wealth regardless of what their age is.
Energy and effort.
Building effort, because the reality is building wealth is really about the accumulation of assets that appreciate and generate income over time. I'm talking about assets like apartment buildings, even stocks, even dividend-based stocks. I'm talking about businesses, entrepreneurship, and private equity. The reality is as you accumulate more assets, he who has the most assets has the most income. And as you get more of those assets accumulated, they end up generating income for you. And value transformation is really about treating money like a tool to make more money as opposed to treating money like a toy. And what you find is that your money outcomes are the shadow of your money behaviors. And your money behaviors are linked to your money values / your priorities. So if you want to change your outcomes, you got to change the way that you look and you value money. And I don't mean worshiping money.
Correct.
I mean treating it as a tool.
In our community, they say money is the root of all evil.
Exactly.
So we don't hold on to it, but to respect it.
To respect it.
Yes.
Right. To make sure that if you put it out somewhere, that it's going to give you something back.
So you say debt is not a bad thing and that you investing is key. How is that?
I think that's one of the things that eludes our community.
Yes.
We spend the entire time, our entire lives, paying down debt. And
trying to get out of debt.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then we say, I'm going to start investing when I'm out of debt. Well, the reality is millionaires and billionaires have debt.
They never get out of
There's
debt.
a difference between good debt and bad debt. You want to get in as much good debt as possible and eliminate your bad debt. Good debt is debt associated with assets that appreciate. Things like apartment buildings, businesses, even student loans are good debt. Bad debt is debt associated with things that hold no value, like furniture and clothes and shopping and going out to brunch. So the name of the game is not to be so consumed with your debt to the point that that's all you do. And we never start investing. And because we don't invest, and investing is a long-term game, we never build any real wealth.
So
the
Mr. Nash,
truth
you're
about
not
it,
saying that we can't go shopping, and we
Yes.
can't go to brunch,
Right.
and we can't have nice clothes. We just can't have it all the time. We just need to manage it. It needs to be in a budget, right?
the name of the game is you can have anything, but you can't have everything.
Okay,
So it's
I
a
like
matter of being very, very selective.
Yes.
But the powerful thing about investing is that the income that it produces and the appreciation of that can annihilate your debt. So we have the wrong mindset around debt.
Yes.
And we get over-consumed with it to all we do in our lives is pay down debt. We never build wealth, and as a result, when we die, we have no generational wealth.
So, Mr. Nash, what are the 3 common financial mistakes that prevent you from building wealth?
Well, the 3 common mistakes,
Or
I really,
us.
there's about 4 of them, but 3 of them, first of all, we don't start immediately. We don't get started. Even if in a small level, just putting away money for ourselves, even if it's $50 a month, $25 a month, putting that together, starting off in the stock market, eventually getting into real estate, and eventually potentially entrepreneurship. So that's number 1, is getting started. Number 2 is not having or living on a budget, right? Living within our means. Because we have to kind of minimize what we spend so that we can maximize what we invest.
Yes.
Right? The third thing is not having an overall plan for our money in the first place. So we just work and make money, but we don't have a plan. And that plan should be to accumulate assets that do the work for us. Right? So those are primarily the primary mistakes that we have. And the final thing is patience. Right? Building wealth takes time. We see people that look like they're balling, and we all of a sudden think that our game plan is moving too slow. But I tell people all the time, is becoming a millionaire is not hard, it's just slow. And so you have to have patience and be consistent in your investing and invest intensely. And over time, the assets do the work for you.
Consistency.
Yes.
The right investments. So let's talk about historically Black colleges. How can Black college students become millionaires starting from college? You know, most college students, when you get out of college, you've got that debt. Is that good debt?
That's good debt.
That's good debt,
Student loan is
because
good debt.
student loans are good debt.
Because it's tied to your income. Student loans, increases your ability to earn more income. So it's good debt. And I wrote an article in a couple of magazines talking about stop tripping over student loan debt. Get busy investing and allow your assets to pay for that student loan debt. But, college students, how they can build well, how they can become millionaires starting from college is, first of all, they have to read my next book, which is titled How to Become a Millionaire Starting from College.
Love it.
It was the way that I did it coming out of college. I did it in 7 years. I started, and in 7 years later, I could declare Destination Millionaire. The first thing is have a very clear vision or a plan for becoming a millionaire. And the other thing is to understand that it's necessary for them to become a millionaire, not because of bragging rights, because if you look at the 4% rule that says that you can only withdraw 4% of your, what I call freedom fund upon a retirement, if you had $1 million, all you could withdraw is $40,000. You had $2 million, you can withdraw $80,000. The reality is you have to accept the fact that you have to get there, and also look at the possibility that, or the reality is that starting young gives you a leg up because of compounding and because of time, right? So those are very important things. The other thing I say is when they come out, maximize your 401k. Make sure that your employer, if your employer has a match, that you're not leaving money on the table. That's the most efficient way to start saving. The other thing is when they buy their first piece of property, don't do like I did. I bought my first condo right out of college. Buy a duplex or a threeplex.
So you can rent it out and make it earn you some money.
It earns you money, but it also increases your net worth faster because multifamilies are valued based on the income that they produce, not based on the comparable values of houses in the area. And it will jumpstart their wealth building. And the final thing is to be committed to a side hustle, to working crazy hard to make additional income that they can put to work, because those additional investments will definitely make them rich. And then also, finally, I said, live on a budget and continue to live like a broke college student until you don't have to. That's the key. Frugality is the key.
Frugality. That word. It's like it's emblazoned on my brain, y'all. So you're a financial mentor to athletes in the NFL. How are you different from a financial advisor? Mentor, advisor.
Yeah, so the financial advisors touch their money. I don't touch their money.
You tell them what they need to do.
I tell them what they need to do. So basically, you can imagine their financial advisor in one ear, and I'm in the other ear.
You're the coach.
I'm the coach.
I love it. Yes.
And so I do it for absolutely free, and I do it because I don't want a conflict of interest in any way. And so these are young athletes that I've been mentoring for some time. And what I'm trying to do is empower them to make great financial decisions.
Yes.
I'm trying to shape their mindset so that they have a really clear vision for what they're doing with their money and can hold their advisor accountable. Too many of them rely mostly on their advisor. They don't have another person in their ear, and as a result, they run out of money, and then they're sitting there basically wondering what happened. So my job is to make sure that doesn't happen. And I do this for free because, like I said, I had 4 millionaire mentors that poured into me, and they didn't charge me a dime for it. And so I believe that financial literacy and wealth literacy should be free. And that's why I wrote a book. So you can get it for $34.
$34. Y'all can get the book. Yeah. So this question is, what is the biggest mistake a college athlete makes when he is drafted and given $1 million contract? What's the biggest mistake?
The biggest mistake is they don't live on a budget. And that's what I'd work with my athletes. Is my mom used to say, if you can't manage a little bit of money, you won't be able to manage a lot of money. And so these athletes, they get all this money, and then again, their mindset and their value set is ill-equipped to manage that kind of money. And they could have never gotten the right mindset or skill set within their family because they're learning from what their parents learned. Their parents learned from what their parents learned.
So don't you think financial literacy should be a class in school, in high school? It should kind of start around 10th grade?
There is no doubt about it. But however, literacy alone won't do it. It's really about being able to make having the right money behaviors, right? And that's an experience thing. That's an emotional thing. Like, the reason why I'm saying that is you put a whole bunch of money on these kids and a different set of emotions come out. They start thinking about what they want to buy and how they want to be influenced. That's why mentorship is key. And having a mentor that doesn't have a financial stake involved is just so critical and so important.
It's priceless. It's priceless. Last question before we go to break is, what are the steps Black families can take to building generational wealth?
You know, generational wealth is a common word. It's a buzzword on social media that people are using. And I often wonder, do they even understand what it is? And so the first thing is to understand what generational wealth is. A lot of people think that generational wealth is Rockefeller wealth, right? Is the Carnegie wealth, right? Having billions of dollars to pass on. But it's not a sum of money. My grandmother did it making $200 a month. And how she did it is she paid off her house and had $43,000 in retirement. And by the time she died, she had $13,000 for her funeral, $30,000 for her grandkids, of which I received $10,000. I put it into a Charles Schwab account, invested in the stock market, built a business and another real estate, and turned the $10,000 into millions. So it's not so much about the sum of money. It's really about teaching each and every generation how to build wealth, how to add onto family wealth, and how to preserve wealth. And it's also getting that, teaching you how to transfer effectively the wealth from one generation to one generation. And the other thing is to teach them not to sell grandmother's house. I still own my grandmother's house.
Really? That's awesome. For that, we're going to give you an applause. And we're going to Hey, y'all, welcome back to the Sisaundra Show. I know y'all see my face right now because the atmosphere is edible in here. It smells so divine. Anyway, this is one of my favorite segments because we talk about all the things entertainment, food, pop culture, and more. So cheers, y'all. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Yes. Y'all, I am here with Cleodine Pierre. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Yes, who is the founder of Cleo's Kitchen. Sac passé. So listen, I heard you are making shrimp and grits for us.
Yes, I am.
I'm going to talk to you while you cook, so you just carry on. Okay. Tell us about all these ingredients you have.
Okay, right now I am just sauteing my bell peppers, my green onions, as well as my green peppers, just making this sauce, the shrimp. I'm doing a shrimp. So I'm just getting everything ready for us. All I did was added a little bit of black pepper to it. And now I'm just going to add just a little bit of seasoning.
And what is this right here?
That is paprika.
Okay.
You already know that's paprika.
Paprika. And what is this?
That's chicken bouillon.
Chicken
Where I'm from, we
bouillon.
call it Maggi.
I was going to say, is that one of the secret ingredients?
Nah,
For me, it is because I didn't know to put that in a
know that?
recipe. No.
this is like,
I didn't.
I put this on everything.
On everything. So
Everything.
we just learned a little secret, y'all. Thank you very much, Cleodine.
Just a little. No.
So you are Haitian American native, born and raised in Haiti.
Yes.
And came to the States at the age of 11 years old. I got to ask you, how was life for you growing up?
Life growing up in Haiti, I know a lot of people get like the wrong idea of Haiti, but life growing up in Haiti was perfect, honestly.
Really?
Yes.
I love to hear that.
Yes, it was.
Tell us about the beauty of it, because you know what? A lot of people have the same misconception about Africa. They think that, everything is
true.
like lions, tigers, and bears.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a major city with all kinds of resources there. So just like Haiti, it's great to hear that you had a lovely childhood.
Yes, I had a great childhood. My father who raised me, my mom was over here, but my father who raised me, my grandparents, my grandma.
Really, you sound like you got a southern drawl since you've been here in the States, though.
Yes, I've been in Florida
I need to hear
for a
some
while.
Creole. Talk to me.
Okay, on fait manger, on fait manger.
Okay, you heard it, you heard it. It's 100%. So is there a Haitian twist to the dish you are making for us today?
I'll probably say the chicken bouillon. It's
I
something
knew
that
it.
we use.
I told y'all we don't do this in American dishes, so now
In
we know the
time,
secret.
in time.
In time.
In time, because we actually use thyme and Maggi a lot in our cooking.
I love
so
it.
I just had to bring it back home a
Thank
little
you.
bit, just a little
Please,
bit.
we want to go back to the old landmark.
Yes.
Take us to Haiti.
Okay.
So what are we have the shrimp, and you've already started sauteing the shrimp, so we can
Yes.
kind of move the process along. We're going to get a little fire going on over here in a minute. But
Yes.
while you're doing that, I want to know, who taught you how to cook?
Well, growing up, I had like maids. That's what I'm telling you. It's not as bad as y'all think.
Oh, wait a minute.
We have maids.
Wait a minute.
It's not as bad as y'all think.
Every time the TV comes
So-
on in Haiti, y'all need some money. Y'all need some something. You got a maid?
Of course, just like any
Talk
other
to me.
country, we had maid growing
I
up,
love
but my
it.
grandmother used to always be in the kitchen cooking. Like you could smell her cooking from miles away. So it started from there. Then I came to the States.
So the grandma or the maids taught you how to cook?
No, the grandma and the maids, my auntie, all of them.
That's
I was raised
awesome.
around a lot of different women.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
So I came to the States, of course, being the oldest out of 6. I actually had to be the maid, sort of, kind of, but
The eldest child always
Yes.
gets the task,
Literally,
right?
literally.
Oh my goodness. So listen, you also have a nonprofit organization, and it's called Faith It Till You Make It. I
Yes.
love that. That's better than fake it till you make it, right?
faith it till you make it, baby.
And what a coincidence, because we just had a pastor on the show yesterday.
Really?
Yes. What is your nonprofit all about?
Well, my nonprofit, Faith It Till You Make It, is pretty much a community for women to come together. We inspire, network while thriving in purpose.
I love that.
As faith as being our number one companion.
Faith is your number one companion.
Yes.
I've never heard that phrase before, and I
Yes.
love it. Can I steal it?
Go
I'm
ahead.
running with
Go
it.
ahead. I didn't trademark it yet. So
Okay, well, I won't take it like that. I ain't gonna steal from you. So listen, can you share some of the challenges that you have faced as a small business owner, and how have you overcome those challenges?
Well,
Cleodine.
okay. Supporting your own business, that's the number one thing I really had to do. My business itself, I started in the middle of a pandemic. So being able to like do everything on my own, it's the aroma for me.
My goodness.
Being able to do everything, like I had to do everything on my own from the beginning to work to even today. So that was like the biggest challenge. And of course, like the people that you think are gonna support you, they really don't support you. However, I do have a great team. I do have people in my corner.
That's so
my team
good.
over there.
I see your team over there. Team, make some noise. Hey! Listen, all you need is a few people on your team. Believe in yourself and God, and you got
he
it.
gonna do the rest,
You
okay?
good. He will do the rest. So listen, what are your future plans for your businesses and for your businesses with multiple streams of income?
Yes.
And how do you plan to continue making a positive impact in your community?
Well, with Kleo's Kitchen, I honestly do want to eventually have a home for Kleo's Kitchen.
So you want a brick and mortar place?
Yes, I want to have a home for Kleo's Kitchen. That's like my baby, and it started in the middle of a pandemic, so I'm like, I have to find a home eventually for Kleo's Kitchen. That's my main goal. Probably sometime next year, but I am working towards it this year. In the meantime, because I do a lot of different events,
So you need a brick and mortar place so you can just be there and exist and work out of it.
Exactly.
Well, we are going to pray that happens for you, but you got
Amen.
all the right steps, because we had Mr. Nash on a little earlier and he told us all the right things about investing, saving, and how to make money, right? Y'all, we're going to take a short break, right? We'll be right back because we're going to eat some shrimp and grits. Yes! Hello, everyone. If you are at work, at home, y'all drop everything and tune in because it's time for the Sisaundra Show!
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just kidding. Don't y'all get fired. Don't drop everything at work. Listen, speaking of fired, y'all